From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, I just got to start off by saying what a week. It has been an interesting week here from earlier this week. Snowflakes near the coast. Low elevation snow yesterday. We saw snowflakes, at least for many of us in the valley. Just didn't really see much in the way of accumulation, if any. And it looks like next week could get a little interesting as well, which we'll get into that a little bit later. Take a look at some of these photos that you sent through the Free Weather NorCal app. I want to thank Tracy Sackett for sending this one of her dog. Looks like a happy dog hanging out there in the snow in MacArthur. And this is Bob the weather dog. It looks like maybe he was kind of putting his snout there in the snow there. This is thanks courtesy of Pamela in Bernie. Look at all of that snow in Bernie, and I don't know if Bob is happy or not, but cute dog nonetheless. All right, here's a look at your weather headlines. Drier conditions for most of us as we approach the weekend and even go into the weekend. We got a dry pattern through at least the middle of next week, with rain and snow returning near the end of next week. Now, there are hints from the long-range forecast models that this could be another low snow event as we get towards the end of next week. More on that a little bit later, but let's take a look at Kruger's Quickcast for your Friday, February 7th. Just a quick look at your forecast for the rest of the day today and into tonight. Out the door this morning, yeah, fairly dry. There may be a few snow flurries out towards places in Modoc County. There may be a stray shower along the coast, but overall, not very wet out there this morning. Now, we can see the next disturbance right here. This is what moved through yesterday and last night. It's moved on out. This right here is what's moving in. This is a very weak disturbance. There's some cold and unstable air associated with it, and that's going to bring a chance for a few stray showers in some areas here, which we'll get into that here a little bit later. Do want to mention there are still some flood warnings out there we need to tell you about, and also there is a chance for a thunderstorm this afternoon. Man, does it ever end? Check this out. But here's what I'm going to say about the chances for thunderstorms. It's not looking all that great. Taking a look at this model here, it's actually backed off on that potential here. If we were watching this a little bit earlier, when in fact before I started recording this, it was showing a better potential here even around midday, but that's kind of backing off on that. Maybe some snow flurries up to the north. You see fairly dry for the coast and even off to the east. Now, as we go through the afternoon, you see how we have a few showers trying to pop up. Could there even be a stray thunderstorm? Not entirely out of the question, but based on what we're seeing here, there just doesn't seem to be enough instability. But off to the east, even out towards Siskiyou County, there could be a stray snow flurry here later this afternoon and even into the evening hours, but by tonight, most of it's gone. But look at behind me here. That's what's going to be coming in here for tomorrow morning for the coast. All right, we still have winter storm warnings out there. Most of these will expire here later this morning, and of course, especially off to the east, later this afternoon. Look at this, and this is something I was talking about here, that even though most of the snow will move out by this morning, there's still going to be a lot of chain requirements left over from all the snow that we saw yesterday and of course last night. Now, it looks like Highway 299 is okay. There are no chain requirements there, but I'd say just be extra careful. Between Highway 299 and 36, around Hayfork, there are those chain requirements there. Highway 36, Mount Shasta northward, you can see plenty of chain requirements east of I-5 as we'd expect, and just start heading towards the Tahoe region as well. This is what it looked like at the Mount Shasta Ski Park yesterday afternoon, coming down. Boy, I tell you what, a lot of snow out there at the ski park, and if you're planning on going out there this weekend, oh my goodness, you're talking about a picture-perfect weekend to get out there and get out there skiing. Look at the summit now is at 102 inches of snow. Oh yeah, looking good. I got to take my son to his alpine practice today for an evening ski practice or snowboarding practice for him. I get to go out and enjoy the slopes while he's doing that. I'm super excited. All right, so there you can see temperatures low to mid-50s here for the valley today. Temperatures still cold in the higher elevations in particular, and of course along the coast you're talking mid to upper 40s for those daytime highs. All right, let's take a look at that 7-day outlook for the valley. Again, maybe a stray shower. I'm not even putting showers in the forecast here, but just mainly partly cloudy skies. Dry through Monday, even Tuesday. Now, Tuesday, there may be a little kink in there. We'll talk about that in the deeper dive here in a bit. Wednesday, looking dry. And then by Thursday, and I want you to take note. Is that a mix in there? Is that a mix in there? Not a mix, but is what? Let's talk about that in the deeper dive here. In fact, we're going to get to that here in just a second, but let's take a look at the coast, inland, and for Weaverville. Maybe some morning showers tomorrow morning. But otherwise, we are dry for your Sunday. We are dry from Monday through Wednesday. And then, of course, more showers coming in on Thursday. Here's your Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville. So again, Tuesday, you see that? We have a weak disturbance that'll be kind of coming through, a bit of an inside slider, if you will, and that could potentially bring us some more snow. But look at the snow levels. I'm just kind of broad brushing it at about 1,000 feet, because it could be less than that, it could be a little bit higher than that. You know, you're looking this far out to sit here and say this is exactly the snow level we're going to see. It's impossible, but just kind of give you that idea. Hey, by the way, take a look at some of these great photos. This was yesterday morning, okay? So this is not what it probably looks out there this morning. This is courtesy of Rob Ramshaw. Of course, looking at the Ace Hardware, you can see plenty of snow there, even yesterday morning, but you bet there was more yesterday afternoon. Lake Siskiyou, this is at 3,200 feet, another gorgeous shot here. This is looking out at Shasta Forest Village from Pamela Porter. I mean, we've just got so many of these. I love this one. This is a great fence out in O'Brien Mountain at about 1,400 feet here. I called it a dragon yesterday, but now as I look at it closer, it looks like it's a lizard of sorts. I don't know. Cool, nonetheless. And of course, it's got snow on it because of the snow that they did see out there. Coffee Creek, courtesy of Maggie Bowman. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful shot. This is a courtesy of Russell. In Bernie, not Bernie, yay, maybe that's what it is, right? 30, little typo there, 3,200 feet, but look at this, 26 inches? I think at the very most, I was predicting 12 inches at the most in Bernie. You saw more than double that. Take a look at this. This is near Bernie, courtesy of Kim Beach. Looks like a deer getting some, well, hopefully trying to get a little wet branch there. I'm nibbling on something. O'Brien Mountain at 1,400 feet as well, courtesy of Deanna, I believe is how you say that name. But look at that, a little bit of that wet snow kind of weighing down the trees a bit. Share your storm photos. Be sure to include your location, your elevation. You can share them from the free Weather NorCal app. And by the way, all of those photos that you saw are photos that I was able to pull from the people sharing it from the app. So thank you all so much for sharing them, and keep them coming too. I'd love to see them. Hey, these are unofficial reports. I have to really mention that because these are just coming in from viewers like you. I posted on Facebook, how much snow did you get? What's your elevation? And here's what we got. It also depends on the time of day that these were reported, but this just kind of gives you a basic idea, right? Tule Lake, 6 to 8 inches. Alturas, 3 to 4 inches. Mount Shasta City, probably over a foot, especially as you start in the higher elevations of Mount Shasta City. Aden, about 4 inches. Ashland in Oregon, but hey, you know what? They saw 18 inches of snow. Manton and Etna both saw about 4 inches of snow. We got more, all right? Castle saw about 10 inches plus. In Viola, sometimes I'll put the plus there because they're saying this is how much snow I've got and it's still coming down. So there's probably more on top of that. Viola, 7 inches. I bet it was more than that. Out towards Lake McCumber, 12 inches. Fall River Mills, 10 inches. Surprise Valley, 2 to 5 inches. Lake Shastina, 10. Hat Creek, these are impressive numbers, folks. And we did see a dusting of snow, or should we say a trace of snow, in West Red Bluff. I even saw some images of some photos that people sent out in West Red Bluff. Now, we still have a winter storm warning for the areas in red right here, or the pink. And there's the winter weather advisory. Most of these will expire this morning, as we do expect to see less snow. Looking at the chain requirements, we saw this a little bit earlier. I mean, it's just chain requirements galore east of I-5 this morning. On I-5 near Mount Shasta, northward, there are chain requirements, Highway 97, Highway 3. Now, Highway 299, there are no chain requirements, so it looks like Buckhorn Summit, all of that looking good, but there are going to be delays. I know that there were some slides as well, but there you can see Highway 3, Highway 36, right? Still a lot of chain requirements out there. Let's take a look at some of the cameras out there this morning. There you can see Dunsmuir. There might be a little bit of snow there. There's a look at Mount Shasta City. Looks like Caltrans has done a really good job keeping that fairly clear. Out towards Snowman Summit also still looks a little icy out there. Taking a look at I-5 here now in central Wairika, Anderson grade, kind of hard to see, still a little dark here, but looks like for the most part those roads are clearing out. Taking a look at Highway 299 West, this is below Buckhorn Summit, still looks a little icy out there, so still be careful even though there are no chain requirements. Can't really see much there, and unfortunately the Barry Summit camera is no longer available right now. There's Hatchet Mountain. That looks like a person, that's kind of eerie. But anyway, you can see, of course, the snow. Highway 299, 89, that's known as the Four Corners. Look at that, still covered in snow there. Cedar Pass, lots of snow up there as well. Again, you can see why there's chain requirements, because look at this. Lassen Park, Bogard Ranger Station, looking like a mess up there. I wouldn't want to be on the roads. There's Highway 3689 near Chester, still looks a little icy there. For down your summit, 5,600 feet. Man, oh man, just a lot of snow. All right, so this is what it looks like this morning from the leftover snow, right? But we do expect, as we advance through time, improving conditions, even by noon. So I expect that a lot of the chain requirements we have out there this morning, a lot of them will be lifted. But I will say this, even if there are no chain requirements, I want you to be really careful today. There's going to be a lot of leftover snow on the ground. There's going to be a lot of leftover, icy spots as well, especially because it could be pretty cold out there today. We're going to have hard pressed to get above freezing in some spots for some of the higher elevations. Now there you can see today at 5 p.m. we may see the potential for more chain requirements later on this evening and tonight, because there is going to be that potential here for snow there. But otherwise, I do expect much better conditions by the time we go into the weekend and even into early next week. Now again, I was pointing this out here a little bit earlier. We have a little bit of a weak disturbance right here, a little bit of a spin, colder air. That's the speckled clouds. That's all moving in. So essentially today, you've just got this cold and unstable air that's in place. There is a slight chance, if we can get enough moisture out of it, if we can get enough daytime heating, that we could see the potential for a stray thunderstorm, especially in the valley. I'd say the chances are a bit slimmer as you head in the higher elevations, as that's where you'd probably be looking at some of that snow. All right, let's take a look at, this is the HRRR forecast, because it does pick up a little bit on that potential for some showers and thunderstorms in the valley. But here you can see 8 o'clock this morning, a little bit of activity off to the east. The coast looks fairly dry through this morning. Still have some clouds out there, not much in the way of snow. And then it kind of picks up later this afternoon. You see that right there? This is a stray shower trying to pop up here through this afternoon in the valley. So if you're in the valley, most likely you'll be dry today, but there may be a stray shower for some of you and an off chance for a thunderstorm. I'm not even putting it in the 7-day forecast. There you can see where most of the snow will be this afternoon, and that's going to be in Modoc County, even parts of Siskiyou County, Lassen, and Plumas counties. And then here we are at about 6 p.m. on Friday today. Again, maybe a stray thunderstorm near, say, northeast of the valley. Maybe a stray shower still, even as we go into the evening hours. Still those snow flurries off to the east, but still dry pretty much everywhere else. All right, now we're going to extend this on into your Friday night and Saturday. So here we are, Saturday morning. Look at that. We have the next disturbance coming through. Some decent rain actually coming out of this here for parts of the coast. Snow levels will still be fairly low. Places like Hoopa, if you see a snowflake or two, or even a light accumulation, don't be surprised. And then, of course, down towards southern Humboldt County, seeing some activity as well. 8 a.m., some of it does try to come into western portions of Trinity County, so just be aware of that on Highway 299. And then, by noon, most of it's gone. By Saturday afternoon, yeah, some clouds left over, but dry, and of course, plenty of sunshine and gorgeous weather for the rest of us through the day on Saturday. Now we take you Saturday night. Sunday morning looks dry. There may be some fog in some of those higher elevations, but overall I expect sunny skies here through the day on Saturday and Sunday. All right, so with all the rain that we've seen here this past week, obviously not much more rain on top of what we've already seen, but we still have the Sacramento River creating a few issues. We also have some flooding out towards Pitt River. We'll take a closer look at that, but there's that flood warning still for parts of the Sacramento River. There you can see in the minor flood stage here, just to the south of Red Bluff. Now, when you look at these forecast river levels, it's mainly because they're letting there's a release coming out of Shasta Lake or Shasta Dam, and that's going to allow the levels to kind of stay fairly stationary, but still just below that flood stage at the Red Bluff Diversion Dam.